welcome to the TCB Minnesota Family Business Conversation Series. I'm Allison Kaplan. I'm the editor-in-chief of Twin Cities Business. Thank you for joining us over the lunch hour. We're glad to be perhaps a little bit of a distraction and provide a little bit of optimism on this election day. So thanks for joining us. Well, today is the fourth in our 5-week series highlighting our 2020 Family Business Award honorees, who are all featured in the September-October issue of Twin Cities Business Magazine. It's really a testament to the resilience and the fortitude of the many family-owned businesses in our state that we had as many entries as ever in this crazy 2020 year for these annual awards, and so many worthy contenders. Each year, as we've explained, our judges, they consider not only the financial success of our honorees, but they look to businesses that have a transition plan, have a legacy of multiple generations, and have proven they can work together to create something enduring, which is something we can all feel inspired by, whether or not we work with our relatives. For those of you joining us live today, thank you, and feel free to use the comments section on your screen if you want to say something directly to the audience, to our speaker, or if you have a question. We'll try to get to your questions before we end this afternoon. Before I introduce our speaker, I want to briefly thank our sponsors, all of whom are strong advocates for family business. Frederickson and Byron, the University of St. Thomas Family Business Center, the Platinum Group, and finally, we want to thank our very special program founder and partner in this endeavor, Hubler for Business Families. You'll hear more insights today from Jessica Manavasiger, shareholder at Frederickson and Byron, and she'll be joining us a little later in the program. If you've missed any of our previous sessions, those are all available online as well at tcbmag.com. Today, we're going to be speaking with Joseph Wallace. He's the president of Independent Packing Services, one of our 2020 award winners in the Family Business Awards. But before we do that, let's take a virtual trip over to Independent Packing Services with this video produced by our video production partner, Studio 120.
IPSI is a design and build manufacturing company for transport packaging. Origins of the company for my family was we were building a home in the Bahamas for my grandparents. So we bought furniture up here and we found a company to pack and ship the furniture down to the Bahamas for us, and it was Independent Packing Services. And my father, Prince, got to talk to the owner, and Prince, being an entrepreneur, was very interested, and that led into us purchasing the business.
So Joseph, when he graduated, really helped grow the business, and then transitioned from leadership from my mother, she was president at that time, to Joseph.
You know, my father came, basically from extreme poverty, and the way out of that is, education.
For our oldest brother, Greg, we used to work day in and day out together on all the decisions, and then he started working with another business of ours. So I will reach out to him, bring him in with questions. He's more of a sounding board, I'd say.
Our philosophy, value proposition is customer intimacy, which is we continue to try to find avenues to help our current clients. Right.
Part of our client suppliers, we look at them also as family members too. So a lot of our clients, we've been working with them for, like 20 plus years. And even after they have left our clients, we still have a relationship with them.
My siblings and my family, we're partners, right? And I couldn't ask for a better partner within my whole family that I don't know if we're unique or not, but we really get along well and work together well.
We all take care of each other. At some point in time, I feel like individuals will experience pain in their life, and when that has happened here, everyone just takes care of each other. It doesn't matter what your position is, and they're like, you need to take a leave of absence. we'll figure it out, and you don't blink twice, and you just know that it's going to be okay, and you're going to come back, and they're going to be there for you. So
it's because of our employees and what they've done for us that and provided for us that we want to give back to help them move forward, because how much they've helped our family move forward.
when it comes down to it, the most important part is the family, and so being able to work with your family, it's pretty cool.
So nice. Well, thank you, Joseph, for joining us today. I want to introduce everybody. I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about you while you get settled there, Joseph. So Joseph joined IPSI. I think you're muted. The phrase of 2020, you're on mute. Joseph joined IPSI in 1994. He's been president for the past 12 years, and under his leadership, he and his team have grown the company from 3 million to 10 million in revenue, and have moved from a 28,000 square foot facility into a 150,000, there we go, 150,000 square foot facility. That's quite a big addition. He's so proud to give back to his community, focuses on education, currently serving as a member of the Eden Prairie Noon Rotary Club, vice president of the North Hennepin Community College Foundation, which provides many local scholarships to re-energize and transform lives. Welcome, Joseph.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well,
I want to thank you, Allison, and Twin City Magazine for this honor, and the committee and the employees and all of our stakeholders that made this possible. So it's a real honor. Thank you.
It is our honor to include you and to share a little bit of your story. It's such a unique one, and maybe we can start there. First of all, what brought your father is from the Bahamas, right?
Correct.
How in the world did he end up in Minnesota, of all places?
The Benedictines. So he went to a Catholic school down in the Bahamas, and there's a big affiliation with the Benedictines down there and the University of St. John's. And so they brought him up on scholarship, and he went to St. John's for college, and met my mother, whose family is from St. Cloud and St. Joe. So.
Okay. And decided to stay.
Yes.
So, and I love how he literally was mailing furniture, and that's how he stumbled upon this business opportunity and seized it. So many different ways to start a business, right?
Yeah, there is, yes.
So let's talk a little bit before we get into the family dynamics about the business. You're not shipping the typical, it's not apparel and birthday presents. These are
correct. Yeah, it's not packages that you're receiving from, Amazon and things of that nature. These are heavy industrial equipment to very sensitive electronics, medical device equipment, food processing equipment, things of that nature. You can get up to 200,000 pounds is the largest single item that we've shipped. So,
what was that heavy?
It was a generator motor for a power plant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So each order, is it sort of like a puzzle, figuring out how to move it from point A to point B safely?
Correct. So we'll talk to the client about how the shipping, the type of transportation, the fragility of the equipment, how sensitive it is, and then design the packaging, to meet those needs.
Okay. So what was it like for you, Joseph, and your siblings growing? Do you feel like you grew up in this business? Were you always aware of what Dad did? When did you start working at the company?
Well, I started when we purchased it. But it wasn't the first company that our family owned. There was another business since I was born that my father got into business for himself or with partners at age 26. So really, entrepreneur is in his blood. I don't think he's, let's say, more of the typical entrepreneur where, he feels that tied to it that he has to be running it. He likes to go find that next adventure and next business that might be a good fit for our family.
Okay. So what did he teach the kids about business? Was it just a given that all of you were going to go into the family business?
No, it wasn't a given. It's a choice, right? And it was early on, how you work with employees, how you treat employees, that, they're number one, and that's why your business is successful. And and then it's the time and commitment that you put into the business. So, we would go with him on Saturdays, or even after he would come back from work after dinner, to go and help with watering plants, when we were very, very young, to, help organize some area of the business that, needed straightening up or something like that, that employees didn't have time, so it started off very, very young.
And then when you went to school, or as you got a little older and started thinking about your own career path, how did you prepare to take on the business?
Well, at IPSI, it was actually, I worked in every facet, of the wheel hub, right, that connects to the main center. So from production to purchasing, inventory control, accounting, I did for a few years, and then moved to operations, and then eventually to president. So.
And what about your sister? Talk a little bit about the dynamic. I know you two said in the print article that titles are kind of squishy. They might change day to day depending on what you're
Yeah,
doing.
I mean,
How do you do
they're
that?
important. They're important, right? But I think we're fairly humble that it's we always are doing what needs to be done, and really that's all of our employees. So that's what's exciting about the group of people that we work with. And um, Andrea and I, our strengths and weaknesses kind of offset, so it's really easy to work with her. So it's enjoyable, and she's kind of my number one. Her and my brother are number one cheerleader, and not going to let us fail or let myself fail. So I feel very good and fortunate to have those relationships with my siblings.
Something that often comes up with family businesses is just the difficulty of drawing the lines, right? You're with the same people at the office that you're with at Thanksgiving dinner. What is that like in your family? Do you put any boundaries on work and personal life?
Not, I guess we don't really put boundaries on it. It's just who we are and what we grew up with. I don't think when we're celebrating something that we let it take over, a celebration, or if we're just enjoying each other's company at the cabin or something, we might set some time aside to, that we have to have a conversation. With kids in sports and everybody's so busy, so sometimes you have to take that opportunity when everybody's together to review something and get everybody's thoughts of how we want to move forward.
Right. Speaking of kids, is there a next generation that you think is going to be interested in this? And do you hope they want to go into the business?
It's a possibility. That opportunity is going to be there for them. It's nothing that any of us are going to push upon them. So it's here if they want, and we'll help nurture that as much as they're open to it.
Right. So let's talk just a little bit about this year. It's been a rather stressful, unusual year, no matter what industry you're in. What has it been like in the business of shipping?
Yeah, it's been kind of up and down. So but we've been steady enough that we really haven't had to let any employees go, which is our number one goal. They're the life and blood of the company. So we would make sacrifices back in the recession, which has been in 2008. Our family took pay cuts and let go of vehicles to ride that tide out, and didn't let any employees go, because we knew as soon as we were able to bounce back, we were going to need those individuals. So.
Right. Well, that's great that you've been able to hold on to people. And are you seeing things begin to rebound? Are there signs of hope at this point?
There's some industries that have been doing very well, and there's some that have not been doing well, and it starts to, I have the feeling, or we have the feeling that it's going to kind of start to break loose. We kind of talk to our clients about forecast, and everybody's optimistic, but it's just such an unknown, right? And it's dealing with that unknown. So it's, how do you be flexible? How do you be very reactive? You're much more reactive mode because of, everybody, especially in the beginning of everybody starting to move from home, that transition was really hard on some of our clients, where, our lead times got shortened quite a bit, as in, producing that packaging, because packaging somehow always seems to be somewhat of an afterthought. So all of a sudden, some machine or line of equipment that a client's been working on for 4 months, and oh, now we got to ship it, and it's, we have a week to design and build and package all these pieces of equipment. So that's been more of the challenge for us during these COVID times.
And yours is an industry where you sort of have to be there in person. You can't phone it in.
Correct. So with, that manufacturing, we kind of set up the production as in, small groups, and kept people as isolated as possible. That was one thing that, we discussed with employees. Hey, this is what's happening out in the world. This is how it's affecting the company. This is how we're going to respond to it. And then also talk to employees about, also responsibility for your own household, and how, they need to be responsible at home, that, the people that they live with need to be responsible too, because how it could affect the livelihood of their own household and the company.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of tricky decisions to make, a challenging time to lead. Is there any advice that you lead on? What's the best advice you received from your parents as far as running a business?
How do you help? And I kind of look at myself as a steward leader, and it's how do you help your employees be successful? And with making your employees successful, that's going to make you successful. So when we were much smaller, we used to assist individuals buying a first home. If they had, credit problems, helping them rebuild their credit. Now that we've gotten much larger, we've partnered with an outside organization that can, be used as a resource that the company pays. It's a 24/7 service that they can call, get counseling, whether it's for mental health, finance and budgeting, to get a first home, or how to plan for college. That's something else that the company that we provide. We provide scholarships to all employees, children, to help them get to the next level. That's really our main focus with our family and our philanthropic avenues. It's how do we assist our employees getting to the next level, or even other people. That's why I'm involved at North Hennepin Community College, the foundation there, because education allows choices, and that's what we need people to be able to have, is the choice to do what they want to do for a living.
Right. Wow. That's amazing, to provide scholarships for all the families. That's a big commitment.
Well, that's how our family was able to, move out of poverty, is people provided that for us. And we see that as the avenue for everybody else to move up and move forward. So,
Right. I think it was your sister who said in the video that you treat your whole staff like family. And that's a common theme among all of our Family Business Award winners, that sense of family isn't just among the family members. It really, it translates to the whole company.
yeah.
How do you think that impacts your business and your success?
I think it has a huge impact. I'll give an example where my grandfather, for the winter, we sent back down to the Bahamas, because we moved them actually up here years ago to live up in Minnesota with us year round. But my grandfather fell ill and was on his deathbed, and my father and I went down there to take care of him. And the employee said, we will make and do whatever is possible. You stay down there as long as you need to, right? I mean, they reassured us that they weren't going to let anything fall down. We were much smaller then. That was many years ago, but it was that, they saw us giving to them, that they reassured us that there was nothing going to happen to Ipsy while we were down there taking care of my grandfather. And I had to be down there for 6 weeks. So it was reassuring that, we didn't have to worry about the business while I was doing that. That meant a lot. So.
Yeah. Wow. And that speaks to the character of your family too, and the way you take care of each other and your employees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are just thrilled and delighted to recognize Ipsy this year as one of the Minnesota Family Business Award winners. Thank you for pivoting with us to this virtual event, Joseph. It's so nice to get to talk to you a little bit.
Yes, thank you, Allison.
Best of luck to you, and congratulations to everyone at the team. And now I want to welcome Jessica Manavasiger. She is a shareholder with Frederickson and Byron and a member of the Business and Tax Planning Family and Closely Hold Business and nonprofit. My gosh, Jessica, you have so many credits to you. Okay, nonprofit and tax exempt organizations groups. Should we do that again? Let's just make sure. Business and tax planning, family and closely hold business, and nonprofit and tax exempt organizations. She knows a lot, ladies and gentlemen. She's very knowledgeable about family business. Jessica supports many businesses in the role of general counsel and deals with issues relating to choice of entity in entity formation, business ownership, disputes, and the purchase and sale of businesses. In her work with businesses, she works exclusively with closely held entities to help them achieve their legal and business goals. And we know her as one of our very knowledgeable and insightful committee members as we look and analyze family businesses. So Jessica, welcome, and tell us a little bit about why Ipsy stood out to you and the other honorees this year. What are you looking for when you look for a really well-run family business?
Thanks so much, Allison and Joseph, for that great presentation we just had, and appreciate the time to come and speak right at the end of the presentation. So when we look at Ipsy and the other awardees, we are looking not only for financial success, not only for success in meeting goals, various types of goals, but also kind of that cohesiveness and kind of a greater ideals to aspire to and to achieve. And I think again, a reoccurring theme, and you hit upon this, Allison, right at the end of the presentation, was this almost devotion to the employee base at Ipsy. It's just really inspiring, especially during this year. I think there's a sense to rally around not only family and those you're close to, but also when you are a family-owned business, your employees are what make you run, and they become your family. And I think that really it becomes very apparent in a year like the year we're having, where you need to take precautions at the workplace to make sure that they're safe. You need to make sure that people are well supported in all respects, including mental health. And Joseph mentioned having benefits to support your employees so that they can not only make sure they're financially okay, keeping them on the job, making sure they don't lay off people, but also other aspects of their lives, such as mental health, and making sure that as an employer, you're supporting kind of your work family, if you will, through all means necessary. And that really becomes apparent and comes into focus, I think, in a year like the one we're having. So
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Obviously there's the emotional side to it, and there's, kind of treating the employees like family. And then there's all the rules and regulations and setting up the systems, to make sure that you're going to be successful, especially as you transfer from one generation to the next, which Prince and Joseph and Andrea have done. Any quick tips without getting too in the legal weeds, and just advice that you would give other family businesses?
Yeah, so interestingly with regard to IPSI, I know Prince and Andrea through service on a board for a trade association. And one thing that became apparent to me from the video and from the discussion was Prince really taught his children well, and learned how to kind of let go of the reins in running the business. And I think without getting into, there's a lot of ways to do that from a legal perspective and other perspectives, but learning how to relinquish control to your children in a family-owned business without having to worry about how things are going to go and without coming back and micromanaging is an art form, but also your advisors, your family business advisor, your lawyers, your accountants, they can work as a team together to make that happen and to make you feel like, as a family business owner, that you have trained your children well and that they're ready to take over for you, and trusting that process, if you will. And I think working with a team of advisors who work with family businesses can make that happen and make you feel comfortable when it's time to have the next generation take over, if you will. So.
Right. Great advice. We so enjoy your perspective and participation in this program. Jessica, thanks to you and Fredrickson and Byron for joining us today. We really appreciate it. So much great information and insight. Thank you all for joining us today. Again, thanks to Jessica and thanks to Joseph and to IPSI. We will be back next week for one more interview with Tom Ryan, Vice President of People and Culture at Opidon, and Hubler, the Hubler Award recipient this year is Michaela Smith, and she's going to join us next week as well. Want to thank our partner, Hubler for Business Families, and our sponsors, Fredrickson and Byron, of course, University of St. Thomas Family Business Center, and the Platinum Group. Thanks again to all of you for joining us. We will have this webinar available online at tcbmag.com in the coming days, along with all of our previous discussions. Have a fantastic day.